Hey guys, this is Quinn, that snazzy iPhone guy, and chances are if you do it once, you're gonna do it again. This is my very saddened iPhone 4 white Retina display screen. Last night, no, actually let's go before that. So earlier yesterday, probably in the early afternoon, I was getting into my car to go run an errand, and I dropped my phone onto the cement. It was only about 4 feet drop, and it was in an A case, and I was pretty nervous because the A case doesn't seem to do a lot of protection, but the phone was actually fine. It didn't suffer any damage, nothing. I was good. So later that night, I was at a high school football game. We were playing Highland, a team that we haven't beaten in 8 years, and I was super excited because it was a really killer game, and we were just destroying. Well, it was close, but we won. Woo! Anyway, the point is, there's two main colleges here in our city. There's the University of Utah and Brigham Young University, and it's one of the most rivaled schools in the nation. And so I'm a huge BYU hater. I'm a U fan all the way. And one of my buddies who's a BYU fan was checking the game out, and they were getting destroyed by the Utah State Aggies, who are pretty much just terrible at football. And he was making some lame excuse, and I was going to show him the score, and I was like, oh, scoreboard. And he was looking at ESPN Go, and as he handed the phone back to me, I wasn't really expecting it, and I kind of dropped it. I was sitting down, and so earlier in the day, the A case landed like this, and it was fine. Now, when I dropped it, it landed like this, and that's when I knew that it may very well be cracked. So I picked it up, and sure enough, there was glass all over the ground, and my Retina display was busted. So he was freaking out. He was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I was pretty fine with it because, you know, I knew I had that backup black one, my original one. This was just the one that iRescue sent me. I was bummed out, but I figured, hey, I could rock a black front, a white button, and the black back, and that would be pretty cool. So I come home, and this is totally shattered. The LCD was fine. It was just the screen, the glass that was broken. And I got home at about 1:30, and I was going to decide. I told myself, you know, I'm not that tired, and so I decided that I was going to replace the screen on my phone. And so the iPhone 4 is actually really easy to disassemble and take a look at. I was actually really surprised at how maneuverable it was. It was a little bit more tedious. There are tons of more screws and there's little weird panels, but I think it's easier to fix and navigate around from with inside than the 3GS was. So I think its repairability is actually pretty high. Anyway, you have to unscrew everything to get to the display. I unscrewed the battery, I unscrewed the motherboard, I unscrewed everything. I got this bad boy in, and there's 10 screws holding it in. There's 4 in the corners, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there are 10 total. And I was getting in there, I was replacing it, and I pulled it out and stuck the new one into the new frame. I started screwing it back on, and when I screwed all 10 in, I was going to pull these ribbon cables back over, and I thought, why is this one really short? And it turns out that I had actually folded this one inside before I pinned it down. So I was like, oh my gosh, because it took about 45 minutes to take apart carefully. And what I did was I took all the screws and labeled them in each individual categories as to where exactly they went, so I knew exactly where every screw would go before or when I assembled it, or reassembled it. And so I had to undo the whole frame. I got that out, I fixed the cable, fed it back through, screwed it all back in. That took probably 10 minutes, and then I was good to go, right? So I pinned it in. I pinned all the major stuff in, like the motherboard, and before I screwed anything in, I just kind of threw everything together, stuck the battery in, and just ensured that it powered on. Sure enough, I pressed the power button, it powered on, everything worked great, everything looked beautiful, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm awesome. And then all I had to do left was put the screws in. So I pulled the battery out, I pulled the motherboard out, I started screwing stuff back in, and then I screwed the motherboard in, I screwed the speaker console back in, and then I had screwed all the plates in, and before the battery, there's one last plate that you have to screw in. It's like a little shield, and it's held by 5 screws. Now there's one that's really long up here, and then there's 4 that I thought were the same. Turns out there's 3 that are the same, and there's one that's a tiny bit longer. Like, unless you're looking at them directly, you wouldn't notice that there was a difference. Anyway, point being, I'm looking in, I screw the main one in, I screw the other 4 ones in, I'm left to these 2 screws. This one is the short one, and this one is the long one. Once again, thought they were the same, just picked one of them up. I picked the long one up and started screwing right here. Well, guess what? Screwed right into the display. Now, that looks cool. I think it looks pretty sexy. The white back, everything looks good, but check this out. If you take a look right there, you can clearly see where that screw got bored down too far. It'll focus. Here we go. See that? That's where it punctured the LCD screen. So the glass is fine, but the LCD screen is screwed. And the problem with these is with the 3GS, you used to be able to buy just the glass or just the digitizer in the glass. With the iPhone 4, the Retina display is a part of this. So when you break this, you got to replace the whole Retina display, which is like $180, or if you do it through Apple, it's $199. Now I'm going to see if I can try and get a spare or an extra one from one of the other companies I've been working with. But it still works. I mean, vibrate still works. Let's see. So you can see here, slide down lock. You can kind of see the menu system. It's kind of weird. We'll go into phone here. Go to dial pad. It's kind of trippy, actually. All right, let's see if we can post a Twitter message. Osfer is about right there. Looks like there's already a text box up. I don't know if that did anything. This is when you kind of want a screen to see what's going on. Okay, so let's see. Let's try one more time. We'll go back. Press cancel if anything's in there. Back. Okay. We'll press compose. I don't know. This is tough, guys. Oh. I have no idea what is going on. Alright, let's try this. We'll throw the dock up. We'll kill that. We'll try one more time to go back into there. It says the text box is open, which is weird. Did that work? That might have worked. Check that out on my Twitter feed right there. See that? Hello, broke boogie. I tried to type this earlier and I didn't think I did anything, so this is funny. Let's try one more time. We're spamming Twitter. Click that open. Delete's down here. Wait. Cancel. No, I don't want to save it as a draft. Okay. So now we'll compose a new one. There we go. Hello, Twitter. Oh, shoot. Twitter. I am using my broken iPhone. Hello. Then we'll send that. There it is. He'll Twitter. Be ambiance. BH roll J iPhone Neilio B. Anyway, this is kind of fun. I wish they came all with LCDs that were broken. No, it sucks, but you will see. I guess, what videos will you see? I guess you can see case reviews and other stuff and terminal tutorials, but you definitely won't be seeing stuff on the software side of iPhone for a while. I'm going to be using my Streak. All will be good. All will be well. And hopefully, soon enough, I can get a new iPhone display. Anyways, that sucks, but I thought I'd let you guys know. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good weekend. Watch my other videos. I put a video out every day this week. I'm pretty proud of myself, so go ahead and watch all of those. And as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.